everybody, and welcome back inside the vault. You'll notice a new location behind me. We've moved to a new house, and we're still kind of unpacking, so things are a little messy. But today, we're going to talk about a very, very special item. We are going to talk about this guy right here, the Magnavox Odyssey 200. This is a fairly unremarkable machine in general. It's a Pong machine, but what makes this specific one very special is this little bit of writing right there. This guy was autographed by Ralph Baer himself, the father of video games, the grandfather of video games, as it were, the inventor of Pong, the creator of the Magnavox Odyssey, and really one of the most important names in video game history. I was fortunate enough to meet Ralph Baer, the late, great Ralph Baer. He just passed away this week, or last week. I've lost track of time, but it was very recently, and it struck me as very sad, because he was just such an extraordinarily nice man. And this piece of history right here, I was lucky enough to get him to sign. It was at a gaming convention in Philadelphia. I think it was the Philly Classic. It might have been called the VG Expo by then. I'm not really sure. But I was just walking the show floor. I walked past this booth that had a bunch of old junker systems, just in a bargain bin for like $5 a pop, and this Odyssey 200 was in there. And yeah, I thought maybe I'll go and grab that a little later, because I didn't have one. And I walk across the hall, and all of a sudden there's a table, and I see Ralph Baer standing behind. And I recognized him from some gaming books that I had read, and I was like, "Holy crap! It's Ralph Baer. You're Ralph Baer!" And he was just standing there, and I was wondering why there isn't this huge crowd around him. Like, why isn't this guy at a classic video game show? Why isn't he a true celebrity? Why isn't there an army of people just waiting to talk to him? But he was just standing there. So I just struck up a conversation. Told him how much I appreciated everything he did for the industry, for essentially creating it, and how it became my favorite hobby, and how so many of my favorite memories are related to video games. And he was just extraordinarily gracious, extraordinarily nice, very kind, shook my hand, was happy to talk to me for as long as I wanted to, and I eventually said, can I have your autograph? Can I get you to sign something? He said, sure, and then it struck me, I'll be right back. So I ran across the hall, and I grabbed this little number for $5, and I brought it over to him, and he said, "Wow, I haven't seen one of these in a long time." Because he invented the Odyssey, but he was famous for the original Odyssey, and this was one of the later kind of standalone models. This particular model is, let's see if I've got any kind of year on this. Still has its serial number, which is kind of cool. It's actually on a sticker you can see here that's very yellowed and kind of fading, and then you got this other sticker down here. This little screw opens up because I believe you could use a AC power or some kind of batteries to power this guy. There were so many of these machines back then. They're all Pong, 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 and Pong. I love these bits where they're all, this has got 24 games in it. There's just like 24 variations of Breakout and Pong. But that was what they did back then, and it wasn't for Ralph Baer convincing Magnavox to pick up on this product and market it and sell it and become the thing that it did. This would be a very different industry. I mean, there's no doubt somebody somewhere would have come up with home video games by that at some point, but who knows? It could have been somebody who would have convinced Panasonic or maybe even Sony to jump in on the game way back when, and we would be looking at a very different landscape, I think, if Ralph Baer hadn't done what he did. But this piece, this little $5 hunk of junk right here, which honestly I'm not even sure if it works. I never bothered to plug it in because it's got Ralph Baer's signature on it, and it holds one of my favorite gaming memories, and it's really one of my most prized possessions, because I have an Odyssey signed by Ralph Baer that was accompanied with a really excellent conversation with a really excellent man who is sorely missed, but he led a very full life. So rest in peace, Mr. Baer, and thanks for visiting me inside the vault.